Hello everybody, this is Pizzscn here. Today I'm going to be doing a case review of the Casemate Barely There case. Yeah, I got this around Christmas time. It cost me about $10, but as I'm seeing it in Walmart after Christmas, it's now $20. So, yeah, so I got it when it was $10, but it's bumped back up to $20, which isn't too bad. It's certainly worth it, but yeah. Anyway, you guys have seen this case on my iPod if you've been watching my past videos a lot. So yeah. So anyway, let me take you guys a quick around it real quickly. Well, first on the back you can see that it's essentially just green, and yeah, actually this does come in like not 100, but a lot of colors. Yeah, if I can find a little picture of all the colors, I'll see if I can put one in, but I don't know. But it comes in a ton of different colors. This is a green one. I've seen blue. I've seen a lot of red ones too. I think 2 people have a red one, but I could be wrong on that because I didn't really get a good enough look at that guy's iPod Touch. But there are a lot of red ones out there. Mine's green. I've seen a blue one too. These things are pretty colorful, or have a pretty wide range of colors. And on the side you got your volume rocker. Hole is exposed. You're totally open on the top and bottom, and on the right side you are totally closed because there's nothing to be exposed. And on the inside it's the exact same stuff. It's got these little I don't know what you want to call these. I don't think you'd call these guardrails, but it's just they're going inside. I'm sure you can tell that, but if not, these are actually going in, not out, so don't worry, no worries about that. I actually don't believe I've done flash checks, but I'm going to do that real quickly. And I certainly don't feel anything in there. I am pretty confident that there's no flash in there whatsoever. I don't know what that white stuff is right there, but it certainly ain't flash because it's totally smooth. You do have a little bit of a seam right here on the outside. I don't have this macroed, but there's no seam whatsoever on the inside, which is pretty cool. So yes. Now, here's some actually really good news for you guys. Because if you guys want to know the scratch protection this gets you, this is perfect. Because if you guys remember a while back, it's a pretty recent video, but it was basically a partnership status update, but I also showed you guys my iPod Touch. It was, here's a couple pictures of it, just in case you didn't see that video, but I actually cracked my iPod Touch at one point. So I recently went to an Apple store, and actually I got it totally replaced with I don't know if this is brand new or if this is just refurbed, iPod Touch 2nd generation 8GB. Look at the back. It is like brand spanking new, but there are a couple things on here I want you guys to see. I have taken so much care of this. I've been cleaning this like maybe every other day. It's pretty good. Once I even washed this with like soap and water. I do that a couple times actually. So when I take it off, it smells like it smells like soap, which is pretty funny. So yeah, but let me go ahead and just real quickly macro up on here so you guys can see what the back looks like on my iPod Touch, in case you are one of those people like me and like people like XP Morpheus who are really, really afraid of scratches. And here's just what mine looks like. That's pretty macroed. You guys can see we have a couple very tiny hairlines right there. This was a refurb, and I think it actually had a nick on it. Now, obviously on the top, we got tons of scuffs. On the bottom, we have tons of scuffs, which don't bother me much. And on the volume switch, we got tons of scuffs. That doesn't bother me too much, because when you look at it from far away, you can't really tell. Down here, a little bit. Just a little bit. Not terrible. Not the end of the world. We got... Is that a scuff on my... What's up with my Wi-Fi antenna? I never noticed that little blotch. I'm assuming the guy who previously owned this must have used this naked. as a naked iPod Touch, not naked as in he was naked, but yeah. So yeah, I just got fingerprints all over it. But yeah. So scratch protection is okay. But you see, the thing is, as soon as I took this thing out of its little plastic wrap, I immediately threw it into this thing, and I've taken it out a couple times, maybe every other day, just to give this quick dust checks. And one con I do have about this case is it's very hard to get the dust out, which is why I sometimes like to run it under water to really get it out, and then I let it dry, and this kind of sits up with the back exposed, so that way I don't set the back down or anything to get it scratched up. It includes a screen shield, which I did put on, but my chrome bezel on my old iPod Touch was actually deformed a little bit from dropping because some idiot knocked it out of my hands. Yeah, I think I've told that story before. And yeah, it kind of bent it up. And then there's another time, I believe, oh yeah, it did get dented, but that was like a couple months after that. So yeah, but that's actually one other thing. I had this case on it when it got dented. The case, you can see, is not dented, but underneath it somehow got dented, which lets you know that this is very, very flexible. I can totally push it through like that. It's very thin too, and I'll get into the actual way it looks. I'm sure you guys know what it looks like, but I'll actually get into putting it on in just a second here. Very, very flexible. It's not going to break. People are on the Casemate website have always been so afraid that it could break, and that's why they kind of put this case as their secondary case and upgraded to another case. It's not going to break, guys. It's very flexible. It's only going to break if you want it to break, if you actually try to break it. So, yeah, no worries there. It takes a lot. It won't break on its own. So yes, let me go ahead and real quickly do a quick, show you guys real quickly how to put it on, and while it's off, I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick cleaning with my shirt. This case also included a microfiber, but apparently I suck at keeping up with microfiber, so I lost it. But the way you put it in button side first, like so. Buttons are all centered up, and then you just, on the other side, push. And that's that. Very, very simple, very easy to install. And yeah. The chrome bezel is exposed, obviously. There's no lay on the table design, and the reason why it's called barely there is because it literally is barely there. I mean, if you're really skeptical or really like pay as much attention to detail as I do, you can tell a very small difference in thicknesses, but just the ordinary person, they probably won't even tell us that it's there at all because they're not looking for that difference in thickness. But to me, it's like very, 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 very minimal. But it certainly is a great case in the hand. It feels so good. I love this matte finish because it's very hard to scratch. You can get it with your fingernails. You didn't show on camera, but I did get a pretty good scratch there. But you can take your finger, and just wipe it right off, which is beautiful about this matte finish. And I mean, everything's totally exposed. The only thing that I do have trouble getting to is the volume rockers. This is biggest con about this case is the volume rockers are very hard to get to, because if you look at this, I might need to go back macro here. I need to stop doing that because battery light's on, but look, you see it's a little thicker than the volume rockers are. It's a little hard to get at. Now, if you're a right-handed person and you use your iPod Touch primarily in your right hand, these are effortless to get to because this is the way you're holding it. Like, here, look. This is the way you technically hold it. When you want to get to it, you can just get on them really easily, like that. But when you're left-handed, this is the way you hold it. So when you want to get at it, your thumb has to push in really hard to get to it. So it's great. It's not a problem at all if you primarily use this in your right hand. But I kind of flip-flop between my hands when it comes to operating this thing. But I primarily hold it in my left hand, or sometimes I'll hold it in my right hand and flick. But if I'm using it one-handed, I'll most likely be using it in my left hand. So yeah, bit of a downer, bit of an issue. So that's really it. If you're lefty like me, which there aren't very many of left-handed people, but if you are a lefty like I am, it's probably going to bug you a little bit. But yeah, it's a very good case, and do I recommend it? Oh my gosh, yes. This is just amazingly awesome, and I don't see myself upgrading to another case in a while. Seriously, this is amazing. If the next generation iPod Touch, if it has a camera and I get it, I will have to upgrade, but I might get another casemate barely there case, because this is pretty decent. Hold on, was that thunder? They were calling for storms tonight. I hope I can get this up by tomorrow. I don't know, guys, but it's looking pretty like it's just wanting to storm outside. But thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments about this case, you can let me know down there in a comment below. And also check out all the links down there. Those links will include an actual link to the usual blog and Twitter and the email down there. So yeah, anyway, guys, that's all. So thanks for watching, and see you later.